Good morning, YouTube. What's going on? This is your boy, King of Hearts. Coming at you this morning with a video. Got my hat on. Starting to get the winter time, so trying to get my hat game together. Got a couple hats and little beanies and stuff like that. But want to come at you guys and talk to you about whole, like, I know I'm gonna make a video about hours in service, and I'm gonna do that probably next video. But just about parking, kind of like parking at the shipper, or getting to your shipper receiver on time. That is probably a huge part of this industry, is being on time. And I can tell you that it can make or break your career, how many service failures you get. And service failures means that, you didn't make it. If I'm late, stuff like that. They'll tell you, oh, send your macro 22, or send it whatever it is, like I'm gonna be late. But that still, it still doesn't look good if you continue to do that and you continue to be late over and over again. So my advice is, like, I'm at a shipper right now. As you can see, I'm at a retail brand, Salsa. I don't know if you can see the sun over there. Like those drinks and stuff that you see in the store, and waiting to get picked up. I don't know if you can see the dock back there. Probably can't. No, I can't show it to you. But I went up to almost I went up to what was it? God, almost at Canada. I'm up in Washington. And I went up past Seattle yesterday, and I had a load here that picked up at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I know a lot of people sit down here and be like, well, I got to my first stop yesterday around, like, I think I got there around like 1 or 2 o'clock. And I didn't have to be here till 7. So I'm like, man, all right, well, I'm going to leave, come back down, and it's going to take about, it only took about 2 hours to get here from where I was at there. So, because I'm making my way back down to Oregon. And a lot of people be like, well, just go to a truck stop, go and hang out, spend some time, but then you wake up in the morning time and you drive here. My advice is, if you can drive to the shipper, like I got here, I just ended up driving here to the shipper, and I got here at like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night, and I parked my truck here, and I just slept here. I mean, that to me is the best option. For one, you're not having to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, and start driving. If something was to happen, traffic, accident, anything of that delays you. Some people look at it like, oh man, like this is in an industrial area, so obviously it's not surrounded by a lot of different buildings. But I just went on a walk, to be honest. I mean, I'm not that far. There's a shopping center like a couple of blocks away. So I walked down to the shopping center last night. I grabbed something to eat, just walked around. And for one, it's good to get out the truck. Exercising helps in the first place. So, you don't want to just be always, sorry, moving the camera around. You don't want to always be just sitting down here and sitting in the truck all the time. You want to get out and walk around. So I sat down here. You get here at the shipper and you park. Now, you don't want to go ahead and when you get here, you're obviously not going to do it. You arrive at shipper yet. Make sure you don't do that, because then you're going to get these messages every hour, every 2 hours talking about why are you still at the shipper. You wait until the morning time when you check in. And then in the morning time you go in, you check in, and then boom, you let them know that you're here. Now, it didn't help today. Like last time I came to this, it helped out. It's still a slow process, so because I woke up. Sorry, I lost focus there. There we go. But let's see. This is autofocus. There we go. But when I woke up, I mean, this morning I got up around, like, set my alarm for to get up around like 6 o'clock this morning. That's a good thing. I got back to my truck last night. After I had something to eat, I obviously had a movie on my laptop. I downloaded a couple of movies. I watched the movie, talked to the wife for a while, and I went to bed probably around like 9, 10 o'clock. I don't know, maybe probably a little earlier. But I had a good sleep, you know. Didn't wake up until 6 o'clock this morning. I'm rested. I don't have to drive until I'm done. And it makes your whole morning better, you know. And then I gotta take this, drop this off back at the DC. Then I got another load I gotta pick up, and then I'll take that to a local place not that far from there. And then I come back and drop that off, and then I've done for today. But my advice, like you said, is just, truck stops are good, rest stops are good, but if you can sleep at the shipper receiver, man, it saves you a lot of time. It gets you there, and it's just less worry, man. It's just one of the things. I mean, you'll see a lot of places where you can just park. Like me, I just backed up to the dock. I backed up to the dock. I'm at dock 2, and this is a close area where parking. You see the parking lot is like super tight. You have to actually park. You have to pull up in the street to be able to park and then back in. But if you're like at the further down, if you go down to the end, all the way down there where you got further docks, then it's actually harder, because then you're in a tight space trying to back in, and you're pretty much having to do a blindside back. But I'm at dock 2, which pushed me directly in front of the street, so I just could pull up and kind of do like a straight back. And the only reason I had that, you know, chance is because I got here last night. Nobody was here, obviously, but once 5 o'clock in the morning comes, I think they open up at like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. All these trucks start flowing in, and then everybody's rushing to get in here and trying to get to the closest dock. So once again, I just wanted to throw you guys some advice about, you know, how to park and how to plan, like we talked on the last video, planning your trip. But understanding that, hey, you know, if you can drive all the way just to get here, just do it, man. I know sometimes it's intriguing, but like, oh, I'm just gonna go hang out, you know, I'm gonna go hang out at the truck stop, you know, for a while. I'm gonna grab some lunch, you know, food, whatever, which is good. Sometimes you can do that. I mean, if you got all the time in the world and you know, hands down, you're like, man, I know that I'm not going to have a problem getting there. It's like, maybe it's like 5 minutes up the street, 10 minutes up the street. Then yeah, it makes sense. With me, there is no truck stop that close to here. I mean, really, it's like pointless. So like I said, I just went ahead and parked here and then walked up there. Sorry, my eyes are all baggy, man. Early in the morning, life of a trucker, man. You know, you wake up in the morning time. Outside of that, man, hopefully if y'all guys have any other questions or anything, let me know. I see a lot of you getting ready to come to Swift. You know, come with an open mind, you know, and understand that when you are coming to Swift, that it's a start of school or start a company. You know, don't, you know, I guess I want people expectations to be like, you know, oh, how much money you're going to make? Am I going to, you know, a lot of people look online, be like, am I going to make $1,000 a week? Am I going to make $1,500 a week or $2,000? Don't chase the money quite yet. You know, and I don't even know if you ever want to really chase the money, but don't go into this for thinking that you're going to make all this money. You're going to make good money. It's a change in your life if you're getting to trucking. And it's not the whole corporate America. It's not the 9 to 5. It's not even the consistency. Your checks will not be the same. It's not like, oh, they'll sit down here and budget before you come to trucking and be like, I'm going to budget for $800 a week. Every week I'm going to make that. And that's what I'm going to tell my spouse or my friend or your family or your budget in general. Bad decision, because you don't know the circumstances of this business. I mean, you control some of it, but especially when you're starting off, you control a lot less than you will in the future. Because for one, if you become owner-op, or even if you stay company, you know, you have these companies that you can go to that can get more consistent. But you gotta remember, you're entry level. You are a beginner. I'm a rookie. My expectations are, you know, like, I'm here to get experience. That's why I'm here with Swift. You know, I'm not here to sit down here and bring in money bags yet. I'm not here to be like, that's why I don't do these whole paycheck videos. Just because of the fact that I can show you a week to be like, oh, let me show you my best week. And that's most of the time what these people do. They show you their best week, and they give you false hope. Or they give you misleading information because they're showing you, be like, oh man, I did 3,000 miles. But that's like 1 week. you know, when I first came over to Target, I had 3,300 miles. But can I show you and be like, look at this check. Let me show you how much money. Because really, that's what you're going to see. And that's what you're going to expect. Because I did it before I started looking. I tell you, don't come. You're going to make good money. That's not a doubt about it. You got the option when you get into trucking, your doors open big time. That's how I look at it. At the beginning, learn. You know, 6 months to a year, you're gonna have to put in the work. You're gonna have to learn, and it's gonna take. It's like anything that you do that's new. It's an experience. So come out here, drive. If you go over the road, if you go dedicated. I mean, if you do local, whatever you do, you're gonna get some experience. But understand that everything changes dramatically over time. Like your career is not gonna, this is not the business. The reason I like it, because this is not the business that you're judged off of the color of your skin. You're not judged off of the way you talk. You're not judged off of the way you're dressed. You're not judged off of how you carry yourself or present. You're just not. These individuals out here that you run across, from shipper to receivers, or your driver leaders or managers or the planners, they look at your work ethic. They look at how hard you work and how much you work. And they look at how, if you can be on time, can you deliver on time and be safe? You know, it's very, very straightforward. This is not some, like, I come from corporate America, man, in the business, where the good old boy, what we call the good old boy club, exists big time. Like, if you wasn't in that circle, you know, I believe I picked up golfing just to incorporate myself into a group of guys, just because it helps me move up the ladder. And that's corporate America. You do things that you probably, not saying I hate golf. I mean, it's not a bad, you know, sport, but once again, it probably is nothing I would have did on my own, but because of the people I surrounded myself with, and these guys that are, you know, professionals in the industry that I was in, play golf, it was a way to socialize and to better my relationship. And I gained some great friends off of from doing it, but that's not the industry that this is. And that's what I didn't want. I was tired of doing something because of somebody else. This is 100% you, and it's what you make of it. You know, if you still want to be that, you know, corporate, and kind of like corporate America, you still can. Trucking, they have a ton of local companies where you're going to have guys that's going to be on top of you, giving you directions, telling you when you work, telling you when you get off. They're going to give you structure. If you need that structure, then they're going to help you, and they're going to give you that. Over the road, if you go dedicated, it's just, dedicated is not, nobody's really riding you. It's kind of like, here's the paperwork, go out here and get it done. As long as I have no problems, I don't get phone calls, they're happy. And then over the road, it's just exactly what it is. Same thing, man. You're out there, you're doing it, and nobody's really fussing at you or on you. I mean, sometimes you may get some phone calls from planners or people like that trying to push you or bully around, but that's just them, because they're trying to get things taken care of, and they're just trying to see what they can get you to do. But the one good thing about this is that you control it. You know, you do this, and in the future, it's endless. You know, the next steps. You know, your next step can be anything you want it to be. So, once again, guys and girls, keep your head up. Like I always say, love what you do what you love, and never give up. Just never give up on something that you truly want to do, and just stick to it. You know, you got to give it time. You got to give it time. If you don't give it time, then you really will never know if it was worth it in the first place. So don't sit down here and just choose to when it gets hard, to just run away from it. But this is your boy King of Heart here. Hopefully I'll be getting out of here soon. Like I said, I'll be bringing you some more videos. I just want to give you a video while I was here, about the whole parking at shippers, and then kind of some expectations about coming into this industry. So hopefully y'all guys and girls are doing good. If you're about to get into the school, good luck. Keep it pushing. Have a good day. What's the day? Today is Monday, so the start of the week. So let's get out here and make some money, and I'll talk to you guys and girls later. All right.